Greetings, sisters and brothers of Local 2627. Today is April the 9th. Happy Easter. I had started this video a little bit earlier, but I was talking too much, and I guess I wasn't talking fast enough because it wouldn't allow me to upload this video. So I'm going to speak a little bit faster, but I hope my point gets across to everyone. When Mayor Bloomberg took office, according to Forbes, he was worth $4.8 billion. After 7 years in office, he was worth $20 billion. Remember, his salary is only $1 a year. Now he's worth $22 billion. Now, a couple of things I want to mention is that he's supposed to be a two-term mayor. He was able to overturn it and make it 3 terms. During the course of this time, while he was making his money, 11,000 members, at least 11,000 members of DC37 were laid off. OTB, Local 2021, was eliminated. And in fact, the people who were part of it that were already retired lost their benefits. The Brooklyn Central Laundry in Brooklyn was vacated by union members. Union members were pushed out, and it was taken over by the private sector. Contracts have been extended by 10 years. Bloomberg won't even be here 10 years. Why is he extending city contracts? Contracts that were ready to expire. He sent a bill up to repeal the Triborough Amendment. You remember the Triborough Amendment is something that's attached to the Taylor Law in 1984, which says that when a contract expires, everything stays in place until a new contract comes up. Now, what does that mean? It means you continue to get your longevity, you continue to have your seniority, you continue to have your sick days, your holidays, your vacation days. All this stuff would go back to zero or just wouldn't exist anymore until a new contract is renegotiated, if he's able to repeal the Triborough Amendment. He wants to classify all of our titles. He wants to classify all our titles into non-compet titles. So that means that you don't have to take a test. They just hire and fire people at will when they don't think your skills are any more needed anymore. They will let you go. The DOE members, we had a bunch of DOE members that were moved out of our local, out of DC37, and put into a made-up title by DOE. We had to fight to get them back. We couldn't get them back, so what we did was we were able to go to court and accrete them into our local. They're doing the exact same work, but they were brought back in as non-compets. We're in the process of trying to negotiate some extra things for these members that try to make them whole, to get the same benefits the rest of our members have. Things like longevity and things like that. There was a 48-hour window, and luckily we had somebody watching what was going on, because the people who take care of authorizing the contracts, the board that does that, were pushing $30 million worth of new contracts out. $30 million worth of new IT contracts. And we only had a 48-hour notice. Tier 6, in the dead of the night. They snuck in at 3 a.m. in the morning and passed Tier 6. Tier 6. The benefits under Tier 6, in a lot of cases, are not as good as the benefits in working for the private sector. So what are they going to do? Eventually starve our system because people are going to choose going to the private sector and not come to work for the city. 15 or 20 years up the road, you're going to need money into the pension plan because there's nobody coming into the pension plan anymore because they don't want to come in under Tier 6. It's more lucrative to be outside. UV plant, DEP, Valhalla, New York. Now, $17 million was given to us by Homeland Security for security at the UV plant, or for the water plants. For security. Now you're going to hand this over to the private sector. The private sector has no accountability, who's not even under the guise or where they can't strike. I mean, the Taylor Law does not apply to them. So they can hold us hostage about our own drinking water. No accountability there. Remember, there's 545 people in this country that control the lives of 310 million people. The 545 people are the 435 congressmen, the 100 senators, the 9 Supreme Court justices, and the president. And remember, when they leave office after 1 term, they get their salaries for the rest of their lives. And if they pass away, their significant other gets it until they pass away. They get the best medical care, so they really don't care about us. They're trying to dismantle these unions, and we need to be on top of it. You need to vote. You need to do the right thing. And if you don't know who to vote for, DC37 will let you know who to vote for, who has our interest in their heart. Because the kind of things that's happening, how they're dismantling the union, and they're nickel and diming us. They're picking off one by little thing here, little thing there, and I just gave you a couple of things because I don't have the time to go through the whole list that I have. This is grimy. Now I want to move on. Telecom, the telecom exam that's coming up. Remember, the filing period is from April 4th to April 24th. Remember, the exam, the filing is actually the exam. It's the Education and Experience exam. Please do not sit down to start doing this exam until you have all the pieces of equipment or paper or whatever it is that you need in front of you, documentation that you need in front of you to work on this exam. In fact, my suggestion is do both voice and data if you can. Because remember, when the list comes out, if you're provisional, they're going to bump you to put a permanent in. If you need any information about the exam, it's part of that DCAS website. It wouldn't be the right thing to call this local for that type of information. We can just direct you to the website. The DCAS website number is there. The problem with asking us is we don't know the nuances. They're going to know the nuances. They're the ones who give the test, grade the test, certify the list, and call from the list. So you need to contact them if you have any questions about that. We put a copy of the job titles. Use the buzzwords in the job title in case you forgot what the buzzwords are. You'll see them in the job descriptions. We have them online. You look at them, they're under membership resources on the left-hand side of our screen. Good and welfare, BMCC CUNY, Vinton, Melbourne, had a stroke. Somebody that I've known for over 20 years. And from the Retirees Association, Arlene Tufts, who's out ill, and she's done a lot of work with helping us at DC37 with some of our events and things like that. So we hope them both speedy recoveries, full speedy recoveries. From HHC, Robert Massasano, his father passed away. Our love and our sympathy goes out to him. And until next week, this is Robert Ajay. I hope everybody has a quality week. And remember, you got to vote. You got to protect your rights. You got to protect your property. You got to protect your family. You got to protect your children. Vote. Vote. Until next week.